Welcome folks, welcome to another trailer reveal, and yet again it's Mortal Kombat. And as many of you may not know, Gamescom has just happened and we finally got a new trailer for Mortal Kombat, and one that is very interesting. Now let's get one thing out of the way. Raiden had a lot of gameplay trailer. We knew he was in the game from the beginning, so we're not going to cover him, but what we're going to cover is not one but two characters. Now these are all returning characters, but I want to talk about the cameo characters. We have Shujinko returning and Motaro. Now that was interesting. Motaro's making a return as a cameo character. Also guys, I want to cover a couple of leaks that happened recently. So we'll get into all this in a minute, so let's talk, shall we? So first off, we're going to look at old Red Eyes here, Shao Kahn. Yes, it is Shao Kahn. However, he's not a Khan. He's just Shao, a general under the command of the Edenian royal family. Now this is interesting. Now, you may be thinking that, I said a while ago, Shao Kahn, if he was the big bad, he would be meh. And he's not. He's actually a playable character. And he's had a great redesign. If we get him in the, if I bring him out, let's see, where can I find him? Now this is him. We have never seen Shao Kahn in this kind of form. One, he's never had horns. Two, his dragon-like features are more pronounced in this, form. So I have to say that, Mortal Kombat 1, NetherRealm has really emphasized that Shao Kahn is not the big bad. The fact that he's under the rule of Sindel, who is the newest of a character, but I'll get to him in a minute. And the fact is, he's got a bit of a grudge against Liu Kang, which shouldn't be surprised. It's Shao Kahn, he's a dick. And the fact is, we've now got some decent gameplay footage. What's interesting is, though, he is no longer using his Warhammer. No, he's using an axe. Also, there was no sign of the Emperor's shield. So this indicates to me he is more of a warrior and not that of a living god. So he is taking a drastic change. Because, as we can see here in this form here, he's not the imposing figure that we all know and love. Now, the way the story is panning for Shao, he is going to have a rivalry with Raiden. It's obvious the way they talk, the way they look at each other. It's obvious they're going to be rivals. So, yeah, old hostilities renewed. And what's interesting about it is if we get him... Now that's Sindel, but there's Motaro. I was hoping to get a hold of him in a fight to show off his Now here we are. I am apologizing, guys, but I am trying to, but it is hard to capture frames. Now, he is quite a big character, but as you can see here, he was using mostly an axe, not a Warhammer. So I'm assuming he's going to be more of a rush down, like Jason Voorhees character, which he's hard to bring down because he can tank a few hits, but he would be like a bit of like a powerhouse brawler by the looks of it. And then we meet the next member of this little event, which is Queen Sindel. Now, this is interesting. In the previous game, Mortal Kombat 11, Queen Sindel was a bit of a, she took a radical character change as this very, nimble kind of character. I know that sounds harsh, but it's true. And she betrayed her husband for Shao Kahn for power. In this one, if you watch the trailer, she states that, your father did not want to have endless war. He wanted to just battle what was needed and get done with it. But Shao doesn't want that. He wants to have more war. He wants to conquer. And it's obvious to me that Sindel is going back to her old, roots as a character, and as you can see here, she's acting as more like a queen. Now, we don't know the reason why some of the court has left. That's still to be talked about in the story. Now, as you can see from these characters, we've got Johnny Cage, Kung Lao, who's now he's got his hat. So I'm assuming at this point here, it's later on in the story. However, what is interesting is what she says, and I quote, that we must be ready for the very tournament that her husband and Lord Liu Kang made of Mortal Kombat. That's right. This tournament was made in friendship with Edenia. So basically, Kung Lao and Lord Jarrett, before his passing, made an agreement to have a tournament where Earth's best champion will take on Edenia's best champion. Now, in this story arc, it's obvious Raiden is going to be Earth's champion. And whoever Outward picked, which I'm assuming will be Shao or Kitana, or I doubt it'll be Melina, because one, Melina's got her own story arc with the Takatan virus. We've also got Kitana. We don't know her loyalties are at the moment, because we don't know if she will fall in love with Liu Kang again, or she knows. We don't know. So there's a lot of story to unpack here. However, there is one thing I do have to say though. One thing. We still have not found out who is the big bad. Now, here's the problem I've got. If this leads up to Sindel's death by Shao, then I would say that's kind of a bit of a a downer. Or from Melina. Now, it is interesting how Melina and Kitana are siblings, but we don't know yet. But I do believe there's I think 2 more character reveals supposed to be coming up from what I've heard. I don't know if it's 2 or 1, but there is more coming, because I don't think the roster's fully filled out yet. But one character I am surprised that we have not seen in the main fights has been Sonya. Sonya Blade is being a cameo character as well as Jax, but Sonya has not been made into the main cast, which is quite interesting. Now, like I said, there are still some left to go. We've still got about 3 weeks before the game's release, and the question we all must ask ourselves is, who's the last ones? Now, we know one of them is going to be coming out, and then we'll probably get the big bad reveal, because everyone's wondering who the hell the big bad is. Even I'm wondering who it is. Now, let's talk about the last thing on the agenda is leaks. Now, as you all know with me, I am not one for leaks and spoilers because, 1, it ruins the game, and 2, sometimes you don't know if they're true or not. However, these rumored leaks I've been hearing might be true. Now, I want you all to hear me out on this. The rumor on the grapevine and leaks that I've been hearing is that these are the characters for Kombat Cast 2. So basically, someone has leaked out Kombat Cast 2. Now, I don't believe that's true or not, I don't know. But for the moment, we must take this with a massive pinch of salt, because we don't know if it's going to be true or not, because things could happen and changes could happen that could ruin their chances. But the rumors going around is that there was going to be 2 new guest characters and 2 new combat characters in the next Kombat Cast, like Kombat Pack. The 2 characters in question are supposed to be, one, Serena is actually going to make a debut, as it's rumored she's going to be her own character in the number 2, along with apparently new Cybot. Right. Let's get one thing out the way here before I talk about the guest characters rumors. Serena makes sense because there's a massive call for her to come into the game. There's been a massive call to be a main character. Whether or not that's going to happen with the second combat pack is possible. Now, as a noob Cybot, no, that can't happen, because here's why. You've got Bihan here. He's in this story. And you've also got Smoke, who is also in the game. So, if some odd reason Noob does make the game, then like Noob Saibot makes the game, it's like, okay then, who is Noob Saibot? Because you can't use Sub-Zero because Beyond is here, and you can't use Smoke because he's here. So this opens the door. Does this mean that someone else is going to take the role? Now, we also got to remember, guys, Scorpion has... I don't know if Scorpion has been named yet, but I don't think he has. But if he has, guys, please leave a comment in the comment section if he has had his name revealed. Because if Scorpion has not had a name reveal yet, and we don't know who he is yet, then there could be hints that it could be Kuai Liang taking the role of Noob Saibot or Hanzo Hasashi. Because remember, Hanzo Hasashi was a Wraith. But whether or not, we don't know. That's going to have to be left to a, shall we say, a later date until we can get further proof. Now the guest character rumors about this. Now, we already know Combat wants guest characters, but there's rumor in the mill that there's going to be 2 more guest characters coming in the second Combat pack. And they are rumored to believe Harley Quinn and Deathstroke. Now, this is interesting. There have been rumors and rumblings that Injustice might be done, or they might be using all these heroes that they're bringing in now, like Peacemaker and that, to see if an Injustice game can be brought back. Because the problem with Injustice at the moment, guys, it's in a bit of what I like to call, in a bit of a state at the moment, of flux. That, yes, a full Injustice can be made, but the problem is, how do you make it? Because you gotta have to find some way to bring them in and bring these characters in and all that. So I could see that happening with the guest characters, but I'm not 100% sure. I mean, we'll have to wait and see how all this goes. And that's it for this Let's Talk. What do you think? Are you excited for Sindel and Shao to be in the game? And what about the Combat Pack 2 rumors? Are you interested? Is there anyone who you hope to be there? Do you think it's true that Noob and excuse me, Noob and Serena are going to come in and 2 guest characters coming in? What do you think? Anyhow, leave a comment in the comment section and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!